Hello, everyone. It's Ashley Mull. I'm an integrative medicine physician in Austin, Texas, and Houston. I actually happen to be in Houston right now. And I'm here. I'm the founder of the Austin Wellness Collaborative. Thanks for coming this evening. And if you're listening to the recording, thanks for, listening and taking part virtually. We're really excited to have you. This is part of our Austin Wellness Collaborative Corona series for Parasympathetic Reset. As many of us know, the parasympathetic nervous system is what helps us with rest, digest, procreation, all the things that we need to heal. And so we're trying to bring more of that into the world during this time of crisis, and also help our self-employed entrepreneurs who may be feeling the financial impacts. So any donations are welcome. Per practitioner, Christina can tell us if she is open to them or not. And I'm excited to have Christina Dietz on because she is a joy and a light and so bright and shiny. And I just love her. She's like a little earth angel, and I wish I could put her in my pocket and have her spout out wisdom to me all the time. I'll not embarrass you, but that's how I feel. I will let Christina introduce herself and tell us about what she does and what she's going to offer us tonight.
Awesome. Hi, guys. Wow, here I am in this little box. That's so cool. So I'm Christina Dietz, and I have a color therapy practice in Austin, Texas. And you're going to see some tonight. I work with these different colored bottles. There's 117. I'm a trained Soma practitioner. And what we're working with really is nature in a bottle. All of the ingredients in here, there's liquids. You put these on your body, actually. Flowers, plants, herbs, the whole 9 yards. And I guide people, they choose their colors and they connect into their soul. And our soul is always changing, it's always evolving. There's so many different petals and aspects of the human spirit. So this is a probably uplifting way to remember the light that's always present. Thank you. Okay, so, wow, what a time we're in, holy moly. So I think it was yesterday, time is a funny thing right now, that it hit me that I know how to code letters into numbers into color. So I was basically guided by spirit to code different phrases of the coronavirus into color. And then, gosh, man, I geeked out yesterday for 4 hours by myself, finding out all of these amazing things. I mean, I almost cried because the truth that was being discovered, I felt so relieved to know that this isn't just a total waste, basically, of suffering that our world are going through. My dad in the ICU on a ventilator is going through. There's a higher message. There's always the light. So I got a lot of relief from it, and I want to share that today with you. So, I mentioned different phrases of the coronavirus. So I took 5 different phrases, like coronavirus as one, coronavirus 2019 as one, coronavirus disease as one, coronavirus 2019 disease, and then I took COVID-19. So I worked with all these different phrases, and so we're going to walk through that today, and we're going to take a journey through color to really get to a much more lit place about what's happening and really where we're going. So first we're going to start with this baby. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some paper up so you can see it. So this is blue over red. And this is Corona coded, this blue over red. And the name of this color frequency, 30, is bringing heaven to earth. Wow, that's really interesting. So Corona in Latin means crown. It relates to the 7th chakra or the crown chakra. This shakes to violet, red and blue. that is the crown. So we're really being asked to tap into our relationship with spirit. So many people are at a different point in their journey with what that is. And really what comes up here is, how can we integrate the heavenly spiritual part of ourselves with the practical red, the earthy part of ourselves? How can we bring service in a practical manner? And corona being the first word of this virus shows us that it really is about remembering our divine authority. Like, the crown is a symbol of that. How can we really move forward in a aligned sense if we're not in our divine authority? So blue represents being in that divine, relaxed, peaceful place so that effective, practical action and communication can take place. So let's see. Yeah. So, the thing that's just really coming up is the idea of a promise that we all made here as human beings long before, to remember to bring this idea of heaven to earth, or in fact, maybe heaven already is on earth and we're an illusion and we're in the midst of recreating that. So that is what just opens up literally a whole new opportunity in the world for us through the word corona. So next we're going to move on to this one, which is corona disease coated pale violet over pale violet. The name of this bottle is Saint Germain. So I don't know if you're familiar with Saint Germain. Saint Germain has a lot to do with healing. It's an ascended master. It's a very powerful energy. And this energy really asks us to look at how we are showing up as service, healing, transformation. These are violet words. Are we experiencing transformation? Are we experiencing healing? The important thing to know is that this is the phrase corona disease. There's no concept of time here. There's no context of 2019 yet. That's coming. So, looking at this pale violet over pale violet, this is representing a coronavirus that could have happened at any point in time, and just suggesting that it would bring a massive transformation, a massive healing, and a massive opportunity for service. So this whole thing with, everybody calling around, checking up on people, that's like a thing now. And that's exactly what massive service means. How cool is that our planet is collectively engaging in that? So now let's talk about right now, because that context is really important. So then I switched to coding coronavirus 2019. So here we have context, and we have blue over violet, so still violet. This is Gabriel, and not to be confused with Archangel Gabriel. This is just Gabriel. So this is the Gabriel that actually is an angel on earth. And in fact, we all could be angels on earth, depending on where we are at in our evolution. It is meant for every single one of us. So interesting that this context of 2019, that, by the way, adds up to a 12, which is this bottle clear over blue, peace in the new ion, peace in the new age. All the shit that's happening right now is really happening, this last bit of crumble of violet, of destruction, the tower falling apart, is happening so that we can truly have a go for peace in a new time that will take hundreds, thousands of years to crystallize. But that's what 2020 is so powerful. The number 20 codes into the inner child. 2020, that's a double emphasis of the inner child. And that bottle is pink over blue. So that's getting more love into the picture. 2020, we have more self-love this year than we did last year, than we did really in the past several decades. There's been such a push, the whole mindfulness track for the past 15 years. That was a push for self-love, or the color pink. The whole point of the color pink, of self-love, is eventually that it can be communicated and expressed to others. the unconditional love found with the self can be communicated to others. So back to this. So now really we are having this opportunity in this specific time for communicating in a much more peaceful manner because of, which is blue, the throat chakra, which is because, see that purple in the bottom? That is our inner depths. That is all of this freaking transformation and healing that is going on inside of us. And this is opening up our throat to express in a more peaceful way because inside there's more peace in the body. Does anybody have questions? So far, I know I'm kind of like rapid firing here. There's a lot of colors, but yeah, anyone ever wants to interrupt me, I actually recommend that, even in my sessions with clients, because color brings up a lot from your subconscious.
I've been writing little comments in the chat, and first of all, I described you as an angel on earth.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. I didn't know what you were going to talk about.
Yeah.
I've been doing a ton of inner child work just this year. I mean, I've been doing it gradually, but really intensively this year. So it's kind of crazy, the synchronicities.
And it's interesting that blue and pink come up as inner child. Does blue or pink make you feel anything? Or does anything come up around blue or pink too? What does that mean to you?
Gender. I mean, to me, it's like
gender.
Baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that you said that, because another aspect of the pink and the blue, the inner child, is actually balancing the divine feminine and divine masculine within us. That's what allows us to communicate unconditional love, is a balanced masculine and feminine, which we all are here to heal in some capacity, one or the other.
Yeah. Liz, she's asking, how do you code words? It's so interesting.
Yeah, so, okay, so part of aura soma, which, by the way, means aura means light, soma means body. So this is this, worldly trained practitioner thing I do that's all about color. So one of the aspects is we learn about numerology and how it relates to color. So we basically, each number relates to a letter. And then in the Aura Soma color system of like 117 bottles, they each have a number to the bottle. There's actually also tarot card that's associated with each of the bottles. I love that too. It's really fun. It's another, all of this is really symbols to help us dig deeper into the meaning of our lives existing right in front of us. Kind of like how nature has patterns, like the spirals, that is trying to get our attention to wake up, essentially. So that's all that color, number, letter, that's all that is. It's another way to wake up. And I personally connect into color and apparently recently number. So I hope that answers your question.
Do you want to tell them, you forgot to mention your story of how you got into color therapy?
Yeah, I do want to tell that story. I am looking at the other colors around me, and I kind of want to want to share about that. That's more important for people right now. Oh, so funny. Thanks. That's funny. Yeah. So yes, guys, let's keep going through all this because it's so exciting. Okay. So next I have this right here. So, wow. Okay. So what's really interesting, like this is actually crazy. So I coded the word virus first, and it came up as this bottle that I don't have. Someone actually bought it and is working with it right now, but it coded into orange over orange, virus. And that bottle is actually one of the most chosen bottles. It has kind of some funky names, the Humpty Dumpty bottle, or in a more spiritual sense, the etheric rescue bottle, the shock bottle. So I also coded disease. I'm going to tell you right now, came up as the same darn number, 26, same darn bottle, the Humpty Dumpty bottle. I also coded COVID, came up again as 26, that same bottle. So it's just interesting how in this phrase, anything around virus, disease comes up through orange, which is all about healing trauma and shock. So you know, the story of Humpty Dumpty. He's like an egg, basically, like fell off a wall and broke into a million fragmented, separated pieces. And as the fable goes, all the king's horsemen, blah, 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 could not put him back together again. Because the reason why they couldn't do it is because he had to do it himself. He had to do the work. He had to do the healing. And the reason why that's so important is how can we have our divine sovereignty, like the crown on our head, our natural authority, if we have not tried to put ourselves back together again? You know, part of being human is engaging, well, the opportunity to engage in this process. And part of what's happening right now, I find so interesting, is for a lot of people, there's a lot of fear, obviously, around control. There's a lot of unknown. And what really is going to guide us is the heart, the green. What's going to heal us is the green space. What's happening is we have a lot of shock going on inside. Look, everybody has shock. You can't escape it. It's about integrating it and taking responsibility for it. Because what is on the other side of the orange? The Buddha bliss. That's what I call it. Compassion, joy, yeah, even bliss is possible in this lifetime. And the way there is the green. And when you think about this virus, oh my gosh, people are engaging more than they probably ever have with the outdoors, because it's either the home or the outdoors.
I just said that to Alan. I said, everyone's outside. All the kids are biking, they're walking, they're running,
Yeah.
they're playing.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful. It should be like that all the time.
Well, so this is what's green is harmonious. Green is what's nature and natural. Exactly, Ashley. This is the truth. You know, we've forgotten the truth because we built up a lot of infrastructure and increased our productivity. This is not bad. We should not be ashamed of ourselves. I see us as these like little bitty like ants, you know, here to evolve. And we're so sweet and we're going to make mistakes. And you got to give yourself the space to forgive. So green is really coming up as healing medicine for us right now. And orange, the reason why orange is coming up is it's the color associated with the emotions, with the sacral chakra. So I'm not really necessarily talking about thoughts here that we have to heal. Again, mindfulness, that was really, I'm going to be bold to say it, the past 15 years, we're headed in a new way. And this pandemic is the initiation of mindset to heart set. You'll see in the next 10, 15 years, what's going to start trending is living from the heart. It's going to kind of replace mindfulness, because once you go beyond the mind, then what? Well, then there's the clear vision of the heart to lead you. So green is the space of the heart. And does anyone have questions? That was a lot of information. No questions?
No questions. It's all so wonderful. Thank you. I'm running low on battery, so if I fall off, that's why. But yeah,
Okay.
it's really
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so
I totally resonate with that heartfulness.
yeah.
For the last few years, that's kind of what I've been shifting to, and it's really hard. It's harder to explain it to other people, like this is what I feel in my heart, but I love it. I mean, it's so energizing when it's activated, and the joy and the bliss, and that's how I'm rolling these days.
So hearing you use those adjectives was really beautiful, and what was coming up for me was alive. Like when I heard you describing your experience of the heart, I was like, damn, like she's alive. She's feeling alive, and her body and her mind and her spirit are present. But through the heart can we truly come alive. And this aliveness, I mean, that relates to orange. Orange is a very childlike color, guys. Orange is like the unfiltered, wild and woolly child, finger painting, running around naked. That is what orange is. It's like you're not holding yourself back anymore. And I think that especially living in cities, when we live on schedules that are not in our agreement, meaning schedules we have not chosen for ourselves. This could go even beyond your work schedule. It could be just the way that you're choosing to wake up in the morning. When we aren't in alignment with that, then our inner child starts to freak out inside, and our emotional body, we all experience that differently, but it's not happy, we'll put it that way. And that's where the healing work comes in, is to really meet your emotions, meet your inner child again, because that part of you is the part of you that feels alive. It's very connected to the heart. So that's why we're seeing this orange paired with this green. The name of this bottle is Calypso. And so Calypso, like, I think of this like beautiful, like sensual, like goddess lady who's like just like living it up, like celebrating life, like doesn't give an F, like she's just living. And so she's very aware of her space that she's in, and she's fully appreciating and utilizing all the beauty, all the pleasure, all the enthusiasm and joy that is swimming around her. And that's always present. I think sometimes we think that like joy is here, it's not. No. Like beauty is all around us all the time, depending on how we are showing up, where we're showing up from, will dictate if we're able to connect into it or not. Back to what Ashley was saying, the heart, well, that's what the heart does. It like puts you like right into it. And I'm like, I just visualize a new world where, and that's why I'm grateful to this pandemic that almost even killed my dad, is because I visualize these like human beings that have like such clear insides, where their hearts have like almost eyes, like vision, and their hearts are literally like a compass, just like buzz, like buzzing around, guiding them. The amount of joy and light and life, I can't even honestly understand it in my mind, because I haven't seen it yet. But I know that's where we're headed. So let's keep moving through, because I really want to get to the next couple of bottles are like a lot of the higher truth coming in once we've moved beyond the shock of this pandemic, once we've been really present and spacious to our healing. These are just kind of some fun treats to look forward to. So this is violet over pink. So this bottle is called kindness or charity, which is an interesting word. So that purple in the top, this, people would probably resonate. Oh, and this is associated with COVID-19. That's what this coded into. So these types of people have gone through already a massive deconditioning process. Like they really looked at their roles, their identities. They've kind of gone through metanoia, like just an intense wake up. And it's really plunged them into their self, basically, into the depths of their self, pink, really learning how to love themselves. And so that is what became integrated. And so these people right now are showing up more service oriented at this time, because they have such a foundation of self-love that they're able to, that's strong, it's there. And so their cup is full, it's overflowing, and it's naturally being given out into the world. Any questions about this bottle? Kindness.
I'm curious. So like when I think of service right now, I do think of my colleagues and, you know, everyone on the front line.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people, I wouldn't say call them awakened, or even self-loving very much. I mean, some are, but you know.
I'm really glad you said that, because that's a good clarification point. Because, what was that?
I'm just curious how that correlates, or maybe it's you have a different definition of service, or I don't know.
It's perfect. It's perfect, Ashley, because it's interesting. So these people, this service, are not those obvious sort of answers.
Okay.
It's actually the people that are, you know, I'll use myself as an example. Yesterday, I was with myself coding color. That was a very pink thing. Like, I was having so much fun. I was doing it for me. Like, I wasn't trying to like do it for necessarily other people, but I was with myself. It was feeding me. And it turns out that it just is coming out of me. So these type of people, it's like, it's, you know, people are using the term these days, the light workers, which is kind of interesting, but it's basically the people that are taking care of themselves right now. They have the wisdom to take care of themselves. And because of that, there is a natural sense of service that is able to occur. It's not like they even are trying. It's just because their cup is filled up. So does that clarify that a little bit? Ashley? Yeah. So this is really kind of like what we would almost think of more as like civilians, like people that are like, quote, stuck at home, like the people that I've had a lot of people just with my dad's situation check on me. And that is exactly what this is. Like, for someone to check on me, like, I mean, no one's perfect, but like for them to have enough energy to think about someone else beyond their self, their cup's going to have something in it, you know? So they're going to have some sort of pink that they've been practicing for themselves. It could be compassion. It could be love. You know, we all do this in so many different ways. It could, you know, we're more present than ever with ourselves. So it really is a beautiful opportunity to practice kindness with ourselves, charity with ourselves. And this bottle is just a suggestion of, well, yeah, if there's a lot of pink in the depths, a lot of time and space is being focused around self-care, then there's probably going to be some extra to come out through random check-in phone calls. Or, you know, maybe you start noticing you're kinder in how you're communicating to those around you than you were before the pandemic. I mean, kindness is a very powerful thing. It shows up in very small acts of service, though, not necessarily being on the front lines of the nurses or the doctors with the patients. So, okay, so, oh gosh, yeah, okay, there's this bottle. Okay, so I'll just quickly share. This is the Harvest, okay? This is what, let me double check on this. Okay, this is basically Corona, I believe 19. So there's no disease in it. Corona 2019. There's no disease in it. There's no virus in it. So if we're just relating to Corona in like the context, basically 2019, they're straight yellow. And this is the Harvest bottle. So this bottle represents this person is, their self is eliminated. This is someone that has just been on a discovery process for a long time now, and they're finally confident in themselves. And so they start to receive their inner wisdom. Their self is brave, shining bright. They're feeling the light in their being. So yeah, as you can see, it's just like total sunshine. And so that leads us really into the heart of this entire experience. So if I'd say there was like the crux of it all, like the bottle of it all, there's two, and this is the first one, and it's Archangel Michael, and the colors are pale blue over pale yellow. So wow. Okay, so first let's talk about this. The card in Orosoma related to Archangel Michael is the return of the Tower. So after institutions, things have collapsed and crumbled, what does that new point look like? And this is really where we're at in humanity and consciousness right now, is trying to understand the top part, the pale blue. So that's about thy will. So the bottom part, which my bottle's turning clear, which is really interesting. The pale yellow bottom part, that's about the little will. So it's like the little human, like they're confident and encouraged, trying to make things happen, you know, that sort of thing, moving themselves forward. The pale blue is thy will. It's faith, it's surrendering, It's trusting in the process. And this equilibrium, Archangel Michael energy, is suggesting to us it is time to integrate the two together. My will with thy will. And a lot of depictions of Archangel Michael are him like all suited up. He looks awesome. He has like a shield, a sword. There's a dragon. He won the battle. I mean, this guy, he's lit. He's like, yeah, like I slayed the dragon. And so right now, a lot of people are experiencing the shadow side of yellow, anxiety, fear, confusion in their depths, because their dragons, you know, metaphorically, are with them more than ever. And that's happening for a lot of people. And it's especially happening for the people who have not really gone through a deconditioning process before. So it's really intense. And so having compassion that people are just being met with themselves. And for some people, that's a lot. It's like 20 billion dragons. Or for some people, maybe it's 3 dragons. And so Archangel Michael, that pale blue, is really asking us to surrender, to let go of the confusion, stop trying to figure it out with our minds, let go of the control. I am finding right now that this is such a big theme right now. You know, the healing of letting go of control is the empowerment of trust and faith. And really this whole thing with the entire corona pandemic, the whole virus, goes back to the first word, back to corona, back to violet, back to spirit. This really is a time of letting spirit be a part of our lives in all the ways, not just in meditation. Look, life is the meditation. David Hawkins says the idea of living your life like a prayer, like that's the idea here. We are prayers, actually. We are bodies of light, and that is the prayer. And so letting faith come back into our life, you know, again, the yellow and the green and the more intense version with these paler colors goes to, or yellow and blue, I should say, goes to green. And that is what we are. We're beings of light with a heart. And so we're really going through this intense awakening process right now, back to the heart. And that's why we're being gifted with so much nature. And that's why, you know, this whole virus is an attack of the lungs. So lungs represent, we think about Mother Earth's lungs. You know, it's interesting that we're being more connected with outdoors, air, nature, the breath of the earth more than ever when this is an attack on our own lungs. So there's a lot to wake up to here, and it's not all bad. In fact, it's for us always. There's always light that's present too with the darkness, and they both actually shine on each other, illuminate each other. Does anyone have any questions right now? Everyone's good?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
amazing. I love hearing you talk.
Thanks. So the last thing I'll say, guys, is this is really cool. So I simplified 2019, the 12, which was peace in the new ion, into 3, because 12, 1 + 2 is 3. So this last bottle that I'm going to talk about today is really the essence of Archangel Michael. This is like the end all be all. This is the heart within the heart. And 3 is literally called the heart bottle. So to get to the essence within the essence, changing the 2019 to a 3 instead of a 12 adds up to 85. So here for the first time, we see turquoise, we see clear, and that is huge, okay? Like this is where we're headed. This bottle is what the beginning of this new time looks like. Like right now we're going through the shitstorm, that's the truth. And slowly we will start to heal through the kindness, through the harvest of our wisdom, the confidence and courage of our self, through finally trusting and having faith again, and in all the ways and all the moments, so that we can begin this new time through the heart, together collectively. So this is called Queen of the Fairies. Interesting that the name is Queen, because definitely part of this massive awakening is integrating the divine feminine within all human beings so that we can come up with more graceful, creative solutions. We have to relax before we can get to, because like you think of a fairy, they're kind of like dainty, light, like you see them, you don't, they're unseen. I mean, very like flowy, flexible, almost like water. We're gonna really have to chill out and lighten up like a dolphin. That's what I think of turquoise. You know, right now, people being so thrown off like with time and space, they're more open to playing. They're more open to being spontaneous. So that really is the new paradigm. And within the depths of self is clear, which is actually all the colors. It's also synonymous with white. And this is the rainbow. Rainbows are symbols of hope. They're a promise of hope. There's always, you know, the idea that there's a rainbow after a storm. The idea that we literally are a rainbow. You know, if you think about the whole construct of the chakras and how each color has a chakra in the body, the organs. We are meant for purity, for clarity. We are meant to be transparent. And what I mean by that is that our density of our bodies is going through a lightening up process. And part of lightening up is laughing. I'm not even kidding right now. Like my boyfriend and I have been watching news bloopers before we go to sleep at night. It's so freaking funny. And we've never done this before. So yeah, I highly recommend that. If you want to laugh a lot, watch some news bloopers. But yeah, so Queen of the Fairies. So the turquoise is actually the creative communication of the heart. So you have the space of the heart, which we're in right now, healing. And then once there's a lot of healing done, always there's layers, right? But there's a time that is happening right now on the planet where we're getting to a point where we're gonna get healed up enough. And what's gonna happen here is we're gonna start creatively communicating. That's turquoise. The creative communication of the heart, that's turquoise. We are sharing the relief from all the healing, and it's through the collective. Turquoise is a paradox. It's a beautiful paradox because it's about individuation, a psychology term. Each human is on this journey and they're trying to evolve and get to know themselves more and individuate. And that is amazing. And we're getting to a point in our history where we're honestly getting a bit sick of ourselves, you know, Instagram selfies, yada, yada. And we're talking about this idea of community, collective. This is what turquoise is leading us into. Turquoise is the new color along with coral. And, you know, the Austin Wellness Collaborative, like this is absolutely I think of the word ventilator actually. I've been thinking about that word a lot since my dad's on one. And I think a ventilator is like the passage, the way, the vessel, the womb that is holding us to make this transition from the mind to the heart that we've been in for a long time now. And the time has come to start living from the heart. And the Austin Wellness Collaborative is, to me at least, a clear channel, the turquoise over clear, a clear channel of paving the way to live from the heart together. That together part is coral. So I will end it right there. If anyone has any questions, definitely let me know. And I also am offering private sessions online. So we would Zoom and you basically would choose one bottle from a link and it would just be a focused 30-minute session, super short. It's $50, Venmo, super fun. I've been doing it with quite a few people and it's quite amazing how, I guess, focused and precise it can be in 30 minutes. I'm really enjoying it. So thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much, Christina. That was so amazing. Uh-oh, dog chasing a cat. Okay, sorry. Hopefully maybe they'll learn to live harmoniously together through creative communication. That would be really nice. But yeah, that was just really kind of mind blowing, and it's always that way when I'm around you. So you're just so like connected and grounded, and I love it. So
Thank you. Thank you.
thanks so much. So if people want to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
So what you would do is you would email me. That's one way. And it's Christina, CHRISTINA, Dietz, D as in dog, IETZ, ART, @gmail.com. Also, I'm a part of the Austin Wellness Collaborative. My Instagram is Christina_Dietz_. And my website is heartartcolortherapy.com. Or you can just find me on Facebook. Any of the ways.
Or that you can reach out to me and
Yes.
I'll do. So it's
Yes.
also on the Austin Wellness Collaborative directory. So austinwellnesscollaborative.org/directory. And then you type in Christina.
Yeah.
Or color.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
well, thanks so much. Continue our prayers for your dad and
Thank you so much.
speedy recovery. And have a great, lovely evening, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
Christina.
Thank you.
My battery made it. Yay!
Yay.
Stop